The origins of anxiety are rooted in three brain systems that govern approach and avoidance to keep us safe. The behavioral activation system, which drives us toward rewards. The fight, flight, or freeze system, which helps us avoid danger. And the behavioral inhibition system, which steps in when both are triggered at once, causing inner conflict and uncertainty. That conflict is the root of anxiety. Now, let's take a closer look at the behavioral activation system, the system that gets us moving towards things we need. It's not a single part of the brain, but more of a conceptual team effort, a handy label for all the systems and chemicals that push us toward the things we want. Whether it's food, success, companionship, or cheesecake, it's the BAS in action. When you feel thirsty, it's the BAS nudging you to seek out water. When you apply for a job to boost your bank balance, again, BAS. Even when your cat launches a surprise attack on your toes for absolutely no reason. Well, you get the idea. The BAS motivates us using brain chemicals, most notably dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter that drips in when we anticipate a reward and floods in when we're about to get it. Other players like oxytocin and serotonin also join in, especially for social rewards. But here's the kicker: we're not actually motivated by money, love, or praise. We're motivated by the chemicals those things trigger. That constant phone checking, that's not about the notifications, it's about the dopamine hit. So yes, you're basically chasing brain juice, but so is everybody else. Now let's talk about the brain's built-in security system, the fight, flight, or freeze system. When your brain senses a threat, this system kicks in fast. First, you freeze, hoping the danger passes. If that fails, you run. And if escape isn't an option, you fight. Yep, just like a cornered mouse taking on a cat. Sometimes there's even a fourth option: fawn, basically playing dead and hoping the threat gets bored. Not ideal, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And if it's clearly too late for the other options, then this is the only choice. All animals, even bacteria, have threat responses, but in mammals, the FFFS goes full action movie. Adrenaline, cortisol, fast heartbeat, tunnel vision, the works. Priming the body ready to be faster or stronger to survive. It's all automatic, no thinking required, and is often known as the fear response. This fear response is nature's way of yelling move, before you even have time to ask why. Just remember, the fear response is the reaction, not the feeling. The feelings of fear are something different entirely, and will be a whole different video. So, we've got the BAS chasing rewards and the FFFs running from danger. But what happens when a situation has both? Like, say, a delicious-looking steak surrounded by wolves. You want the steak, but are fearful of the wolves. Enter the behavioral inhibition system, or BIS. Think of it as your brain's cautious referee, the decision maker. When reward and threat go head-to-head, the BIS steps in to decide which is in your best interest. It searches memory, calculates risks, scans the scene, and does its best to choose a winner. If the reward clearly wins, it allows approach with caution. If the danger's overwhelming, it triggers the FFFs to get you out of there. But if things are too close to call, if there is no clear winner, then the decision can take longer and involve a lot more brain power. That's when anxiety kicks in. This tug-of-war is what separates anxiety from fear. Fear is clear-cut. You're in danger. Run. But anxiety lives in the gray area between hope and dread, where the BIS hums with indecision and your brain keeps circling back, wondering, what if? Eventually, though, the BIS will make a decision on whether to approach or avoid. If it's unsure, it will opt for avoidance as the safer option. It is better to go hungry than to get ripped to shreds by irritated wolves. This is why avoidance is so common in cases of anxiety, often because the FFFs is much stronger than it should be. So in its most basic form, when approach and avoidance are in stalemate, and the BIS is crunching the numbers for the pros and cons of each, trying to make a decision, that inner conflict, that uncertainty, that is anxiety. But how does this work in everyday life, where there are no wolves? How does this help you? If this video made you think a little differently about anxiety, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next.